Hi everyone, so before we go ahead and jump into this super exciting video, I did want to put a few disclaimers in the comments. One of them being I am working with a trainer, so please do not try and play a trainer in the comments or anything. We do have a plan for Pico and things like that, so just out of respect for myself and my trainer and my horse, please do not try and give me advice in the comments. I promise we all have it handled. Second, kind of going off of that, please do not try and play a vet in the comments. Any negative comments about my horse's health or anything, kind of just about his riding ability, my riding ability, will be removed. We are not looking for any advice. I'm simply here to share this content so that you guys can see a glimpse into what we're doing. We're not looking for any negative comments or opinions, and if you do, they will be removed and these videos will no longer be posted. So we're just here for the positivity. And lastly, if you do recognize my barn or anyone from my barn, please, 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 out of confidentiality, do not comment it on this video. If you are curious about anything, you are more than welcome to DM me about it or anything, but just out of privacy until I'm ready to share, if that day comes, anything about my barn or where I'm from or anything, please do not comment that down below. I choose to keep it kind of to myself for now until I'm ready to go ahead and share that. So those are all of my disclaimers, but out of everything that I just said, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'm super excited to share this part of the process with all of you, and let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, hi everyone. So I'm about to head to the barn, but the outfit that you're actually going to see right now is totally different from the one that you're going to see in the video because it's a totally separate week, but then I wasn't planning on vlogging, so I'm kind of just showing you a different day, but same process of the video clips that you're gonna see of me riding. So that's why it's different, but it's about 3 o'clock on Thursday and I'm about to head to the barn to have a lesson. So I figured I would do a fit check. So it's kind of cold today. It's like 38, 40. It's kind of getting colder where I am. So my jacket is an Ariat jacket. I think you can see the logo like there. Yeah, just an Ariat jacket. This is like a Lululemon dupe long sleeve from Alibaba. This is an Eleni bit belt. I love these belts. I have like a mini belt collection, but off topic. And then my socks are little koi fish and they are from the Dreamers and Schemers line. So yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of my stuff and then we will head out to the barn. Okay, so one of the things that I grabbed before I headed out to go to the barn is the Himalayan Mineral Horse Lick. I have like a stash of these. Literally, I bought a pack of 6 off of Amazon. Before I had just been buying them individually, but Pico literally loves these things. He will go through this in like a week, and if you don't know, but I can kind of explain it, but Himalayan salt is really good to keep horses hydrated and give them the electrolytes that they need. It also helps with just moving their gut and keeping them specifically like good for that. I don't really know how to explain that, but since Pico did colic before, I've always kind of been paranoid, but I always keep these on hand and in his stall accessible to him at all times because it gives him the vitamins that he needs and helps keep him drinking, which helps keeps his gut moving, which prevents colic and a lot of other issues. So I do have him on gut supplements and other things like that, but this is just an extra thing and he loves it. I'll probably insert a video of him licking it because they always look super funny when he is. Alrighty, so to start out with any hack, or in this case, a lesson, I usually start by walking Pico in smaller circles. And when I do this, I'm just making sure to really apply pressure with my inside leg and give a little tug on the inside rein. That way we can start building that connection from moving off of my leg that way. So this kind of just helps establish some smaller circles with him, kind of get him warmed up and moving off of my leg rather than off of my hand. hand, and that's something that we have specifically been working on lately. So we usually do that both ways, and then once we are ready to start trotting, like in this video, this lesson specifically, we decided that we wanted to work on getting him to stretch down and look for that contact. So you'll see here that I only had one hand on the reins. That is actually because we had Pico on a long rein, so you'll see here how he kind of sticks his nose out and is starting to look down to stretch. One of the things that we're really looking for with Pico is to get him strengthening that top line, and that really comes from the connection from the bit and from the leg and things like that. So I just let Pico trot around on a long rein, and my trainer was walking me through all the steps. And as you can see kind of in that clip, this is what my trainer was talking about in the audio. He sort of starts licking and chewing the bit a little bit more, which displays that he's looking for contact. And I believe you'll see in this next clip right around here, he'll start poking his nose down a little bit further. And that's just encouraging to have a better natural form overall. And it's something that we're really looking for him. But this really depends on the lesson. So some lessons we look for shorter reins with more contact, and we'll use like a bungee on him. But other lessons, like in this one, we were working on getting him to stretch down and really poke out his nose and look for that contact without having me have to hold it with the reins, if that kind of makes sense. So getting him to really respond and work off of my leg. And I'll kind of talk through it here a little bit more. I think he does it in this clip once we go ahead and circle. You see right there where he's dropping his head a bit lower, that is him searching for the contact. And you'll see it again here when he goes ahead and just starts dropping his nose a little bit, stretching through his back right there. That's him looking for the contact and going ahead and strengthening up that top line, which is what we're looking for to get him to have a thicker neck and some better back and butt muscles. So like I said, this was a lesson specifically kind of dedicated to working on that. So he does go ahead and do it for a while, and once he does it a few times, something that my trainer specifically told me is when your horse is giving a behavior that you like or that you're looking for is to go ahead and scratch their withers. So you'll see sometimes my hand will reach down and scratch his withers like right there when he's being a good boy and doing the things that we're looking for him. That just kind of creates a mind to body connection, because when horses are out in their field, obviously one of their ways that they like love each other and show a form of care is they go ahead and groom each other, and that's like scratching at the withers. So that's what that is. Just kind of creates that connection between like good behavior and things. So here I am just switching my diagonal, and then we go ahead and work the same thing on the other ends, kind of like having a fresh start because it's a different side, and every horse has a strong side and a weaker side. This way I believe tends to be Pico's weaker side, both in the canter and in the trot. So we're just really working on that and getting that connection back on this side that we had on the other side. But overall, he was super cute this lesson and did really well with looking for that contact and connection. That's something that I think is a stereotype between thoroughbreds, that they really hold their head really high, but fortunately Pico is not one of those kinds. He's kind of just tends to let his head droop at a natural position, but we really want to get him looking for that contact and dropping it a little bit lower to build up that top line like I was saying earlier. So really just getting him moving. Something else you'll see in these videos is I do a lot of circling and things like that. That's really good for younger horses, just to go ahead and get them used to working off of the rail as well as using all of their muscles. So then here we are going ahead and jumping into the canter. So Pico fortunately has a really nice sittable canter, I will say. He has a really powerful and long stride, so you'll notice that we get around the arena pretty quickly. So we were really working on his transitions in this lesson, if I remember correctly. So going this way, this is Pico's stronger lead and his stronger way going around. So kind of just keeping that consistent striding rather than letting him get strung out and run through my hands. Because like I said, he is a very large horse, a very powerful stride, but he's super good this way. So it was a little bit easier on this hand rather than the other. And kind of, again, just looking for that connection and getting him to drop his head a little more. Okay, so now we switched on to the other lead, and you'll see here that 𝐵𝐞 breaks the trot, and then we pick up the canter again. So this is 𝐵𝐞's weaker side, but that is also kind of a fault of my own. 𝐵𝐞 requires a lot of leg to keep moving, especially off of his weaker side, because it's a little bit more uncomfortable for him, and he tends to, I didn't catch it on the video, but he does tend to run into the transition. So on this lead specifically, we're working on picking him up, building his strength on this lead, although all horses have one stronger lead than the other, at least most of them. This is 𝐵𝐞's weaker lead, but we still want to go ahead and school it and just help build that muscle so that it's a little more comfortable for the both of us. Okay, so in this lesson particularly, my trainer wanted to kind of see how 𝐵𝐞 was over fences. So this is actually his first jump ever. He took it like a champ. He wasn't spooky or anything. And there I am just rubbing his withers because he was a super good boy and handled it amazingly. So we decided to go ahead and try some more. And just a little disclaimer, we do not jump 𝐵𝐞 regularly or are officially starting his jump training. This was simply just to get him thinking about it and see how he felt about it. So you'll see in this one, again, he was super brave, and I just needed to apply a little more leg to get him cantering after the fence. While I'm making these videos, I want to be 100% realistic and transparent that some of the jumps looked more like this, and some of them were running over the standards and knocking the poles down, and things just aren't going well. So when I'm showing these videos, I don't want you to look at 𝐵𝐞 and I and think that we have it all figured out the first time we're jumping over fences, that he's this super duper everything's clicking horse, because when you're working with babies, that usually isn't the case. It takes time for horses to figure things out and learn on their own, as well as you learning with them as a rider. So it's a lot of trial and error, and with working with babies, the one thing that I will take away from it is the only way that you can really move is up. So it's really nice and a lot of fun. I just want to set a real expectation and reality of what it's like when you're working with babies and going ahead and doing this. We are not perfect by any means, and I am learning just as much with 𝐵𝐞 as 𝐵𝐞 is from me, thanks to the help of my trainer and all the people that are there supporting me. So then, to end out our ride, we actually went on 𝐵𝐞's first walk outside as our cool down, and he was super amazing at this. He was not spooky at the wind blowing, the trees moving, cars coming. He was a champ about this. But that is going to be all for today's video, so please enjoy the rest of our walk outside. Let me know if you have any questions or any suggestions for future videos that I do IRL. And as always, thank you so much for watching my videos and supporting me. I love you all so much, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye!